today we're going to talk about modularity and some design tips in general. And to do that, we are going to start with this piece of kit. This is one of the first things I made when I got my 3D printer, and it's a headphone hanger thingy for the edge of your desk. So this part here goes into your desk, you tighten it with these screws, and you just hang the headphones off of the side. And it works pretty decent. These things here are just for kind of design feature. This thing here though, I've actually used to put cables in, USB cables, and that's going to come into play when we do the upgrade for this one. This is very simple, and if you're new to 3D printing, I recommend doing things like this, just very quite simple things, and not bothering with threads. You know, this is just a through hole, and then I tapped the threads with the actual screws. However, it's not perfect, but it's quick, and you get to do things quickly, which is very good when you're new and you're just starting out. So let's regroup at the CAD and I will show you what I'm about to do. This is what I'm having in mind, and this is a modular clamp that will be able to just put on the side of the desk, and I have this tapered dovetail that will be able to have quick change whatever is on the other side here, whatever application I want it. These kind of tapered dovetails are common for quick change things. Similar things are available in machinist lathes, for example. Instead of having machine screws, I'm going to print a screw for this. So I did some real modeled threads, and I then modeled a screw with the same way. I'm going to link a video for that up in this corner and just be able to tighten this with my hand. And then I've done a blank here that will be that I will include in Thingiverse for anyone who wants to do their own thing. In this first application, I'm going to use this to make a headphone stand. So I thought I want to do something creative, and I made this. And this looks a little bit strange, but I think it's kind of cool, and I think it will work fine. So this is an arm that I found on Thingiverse. I pulled it into Blender at first. I used a low poly method. I will link that as well. And then I pulled it into Fusion, converted it from the mesh to the workable format. And then I positioned it, scaled it, cut it off so it works. Then I made this base here with the 3 outlets for just storing cables. I have 3 different right now. I only had 1 when I made the original headphone stand. So yeah, I think this is going to work kind of cool actually. Here we are in the slicer Cura as usual, and I want to talk about a few things here. First is that when I made this C shape, I intentionally left this a bit longer than this, so I could just have the supports touch the build plate straight underneath here, and that just makes it easier. Then when doing threads, you want small layer height. So I'm using 0.1 here. I'm pretty sure that will work. Then I'm using adaptive layer function to have it thicker layers when it's not needed very fine details, and that's a good solution as well, I've found. I'm going to make this test piece just to check it, because the big arm thing is going to take a very long time to print. As you can see, the first pieces are done, and they actually fit very well together. This dovetail came out better than I actually thought it would. It really stuck well if I try to push it in hard. Unfortunately, I got some kind of artifact up here. Not sure if you can see that, but it didn't come out perfect. Not sure why. Maybe I'll just paint this or print a new one. The threads also came out really well. They go in as such, and I've tried it on the edge of a table. It really holds, and yeah, I'm happy with this. So let's go over to the slicer and see if we can't set up that big old arm of mine.
So here we are in the slicer again, and we have this big arm inside the build volume. It's not a lot of extra room here, but it's gonna work. So the thing is, if I had built this with this flat part to the build plate, this part here would have had a lot of overhang at a steep angle, which means that I would have had to use supports, and I don't like using supports too much because you waste a lot of materials. They take a lot of time to print, and the surface finish is still not usually very good. So I prefer to kind of try and tilt the whole part into ways like I've done here, so no overhang here is more than 55 degrees, and that should be good enough for my printer. It's unique for each printer, of course. And then I've kind of sunk it down through the build plate, and that means that I'm going to be able to get a somewhat of a nice footprint here. This part of the product is not going to be seen anyhow in this application, so I don't care about it. And then I have some supports down here to kind of give it some stability. So yeah, let's print it.
Here is the result, and I think it looks good. The adaptive layers did a good job on keeping the resolution well on the fingers and the hand. The bottom here is good. It can't be seen, you know, when the thing is mounted. So I'm quite happy, actually. You can find this on my thingiverse. It's linked below as usual, and please subscribe if you like this and would like to see more.